Don't know what you're saying. You're flying higher than a plane, and I'm not complaining.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Bethany Palmer and I'm back with another video. It's been a hot minute, to be honest. I've just been so busy with work. We are in another lockdown in Melbourne. This is our 5th lockdown, which is, I don't even know how to describe it anymore. Like, I know it's for the greater good, but it's frustrating because it means that I can't work and it means that I'm bored out of my mind. But it also means I get to work on things that I wish I could work on when I'm working. That's a lot of time saying work, but you know what I mean. So I'm grateful for this time because I'm able to make this YouTube video. I need to figure out a better schedule because my days off changed and it just kind of like whacked me out. Today's video is going to be my tips to managing binge eating. If you saw one of my previous videos, I did talk about how I've been really struggling with binge eating, and I still am. It's like right next to a main road. I'm filming a video! So sorry. No, that's okay. It's fun. Yeah, well, I'm still kind of in the grips of it. I have managed it so much better, even like comparing myself now to how I was in that video I made where I like initially introduced myself as having binge eating. I've got so many tips for you guys if you're struggling with something like this. If you're really struggling, please, I urge you to seek help. Obviously YouTube and the internet are great for tips, but if you're really struggling, there's no shame in seeing a professional about it. These are just my personal tips and things that have helped me, and I'm hoping maybe they will help you in some sort of way. Also, I'm just going to do a trigger warning. I'm going to be talking about binge eating, calories, like disordered eating in general. So if that is not going to help you or you think that'll trigger you in any sort of way, just skip out of this video. I'm sure I'll have a better one up soon, so I'll just get started. My first tip is to eat plenty of food during the day. So if you're not eating enough food during the day, and I know this is for me, especially if I don't eat enough food during the day, I will be ravenous by the end of the day. So eating consistent meals throughout the day, so you're having breakfast and lunch and dinner, including snacks as well. For me, my binge eating would always be after dinner, and it would always happen because I was not fueling my body adequately throughout the day. So please, please, please make sure that you're having plenty of meals throughout the day. Starving will always lead to binging. I don't need to be a professional to tell you that. Your body wants food and it will get food eventually. And if you're not giving it to it, you will binge. So eat plenty of food during the day, please. My second tip is don't deprive yourself from the food that you love. If you're finding yourself on a diet or you're trying to be in a calorie deficit or you're trying to eat clean, good for you. Like, I'm glad that you have those goals. But if you're completely depriving yourself from food that you love, like chocolate, I don't know, chips, whatever sort of food you like, then you eventually will succumb to binging on it. It is okay to have a treat or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to put any sort of like connotations on the food. It's food. Every food is food, and every food is bad if you have a lot of it. So if you love chocolate, like I've got my little chocolate block here that I thought I'd share because it's my first chocolate block that I've bought and I haven't eaten in one night. So I'm so excited about that. I've had 2 rows and I've had it for 2 days. And it's okay to eat food that you love. It'll stop you from binging on it down the track. Like, I remember if I had a food that I would never allow myself to eat during the week, on the Friday night it would come to it and I would eat a whole block of chocolate because I'd be like, well, you're not going to let yourself eat this tomorrow or next week, so you may as well eat as much as you can now because I know you're not going to be allowed it after this night. I have stopped myself from doing that, and I've allowed myself, if I want chocolate, I'll have chocolate. Obviously not every single meal of the day, but if it's after dinner and I'm having my cup of tea and I want chocolate, I'll just give myself chocolate. Like, it's okay. Otherwise I know that I'm just going to binge on it later. My next tip is to identify your triggers. This was something that took me quite a while, but I think it's really important. So I'm talking triggers are like things that happen or events or foods, or it literally can be anything that kind of flicks that switch in your brain that makes you want to binge. So for example, myself, one of my triggers is after dinner. So after dinner, I would always, since I was younger, I'd always have a sweet treat after dinner. And for a really long period of time when I was dieting, I wouldn't allow myself to have that anymore. So now when I succumb to binging, I would allow myself to have that sweet treat, but I would just go absolutely bananas. So now I've gotten into that habit, and after dinner always triggers me. It's always night times. They always trigger me. I know that after I eat my dinner, night times, I will have that feeling of wanting to binge, and I control it as best as I can. So I will always give myself a sweet treat. Like I said, don't deprive yourself, but I'll distract myself afterwards. So something I really like doing is I really like knitting, something with my hands. So I'm not just sitting watching TV. Sitting watching TV, sometimes I feel like I need to do something with my hands, and that always makes me think I want to eat. So I'll make sure my hands are always busy, even if it's just swiping through TikTok, which, I mean, there's probably better things you can do with your time, but if it helps, it helps. You know what I mean? Create a video, I don't know, edit a photo, just do something with your hands. And that's what I try and do after dinner, because I know that's a trigger. Another trigger of mine is holidays or special occasions. So like if it's someone's birthday, if it's like my dad's birthday, I will be like, hell yeah, let's celebrate. And I'll just eat until, honestly, I can't move. And it's not overeating, it's me thinking, it doesn't matter, this is a celebration, I'm going to take advantage of this and I'm going to eat as much food as I can, because I know I'm not going to allow myself to eat this food tomorrow. It's that mentality that's different. It's not just overeating being like hee hee whoops, it's like the complete loss of control, and there's no talking yourself out of it. And I find that holidays and celebrations like Christmas and all of that sort of stuff triggers me so much, almost without a doubt. So yeah, identifying your triggers can help you bring in preventative measures. So like I said, distracting yourself, or if you do have a celebration, maybe let people know. I know it's really hard to talk to people, but like I might say to my mum, hey mum, this is a prime example where I would eventually binge. Can you just keep an eye on me and just make sure that I don't? I know that's hard, but someone you trust, just get them to keep an eye on you or something, or make a pact with yourself. Just try your best. Next tip, and this is probably my biggest tip, is to lose the diet mentality. I have done a lot of research on why I'm struggling with binge eating, and I listen to the podcast Brain Over Binge, which if you're struggling with it, Brain Over Binge has just completely changed my perspective. I haven't finished the whole thing because there's like a million episodes, but I probably listened to the first like maybe 12 episodes, and it has just changed my perspective on everything. Basically, they say that in a lot of cases, binge eating results from having a huge diet mentality and constantly restricting yourself and being in a calorie deficit and counting your calories and just constantly having the goal to lose weight. If you want to overcome binge eating, and I honestly swear by this, if you want to overcome binge eating, just drop it all. And it sounds horrifying, and it was so scary for me because I counted my calories for like, I'm gonna say 10 months. It would be 10 months. And I was obsessive, and all I wanted to do was lose weight. Even when I was skinny, I still wanted to lose weight. And it was so scary letting go of that part, because I was like, what will happen to my body? Like, will I gain weight? And I already was gaining weight because I was binge eating so much. And if anything, I've just maintained what I had before. That's besides the point. It doesn't matter about weight or anything like that, but it was one of the scariest things for me to let go of. But letting go of the constant thoughts of, I need to be in a calorie deficit, I can't eat that because then I won't stay within my deficit. Like, I need to plan out my meals accordingly. And while a lot of people do that and are successful, when it gets to the point where it's obsessive, that's when the binge eating can set in, because you're restricting yourself and you're having that diet mentality, and then you might mess up once. You might eat like copious amounts of food because that day you underate too much and you starved yourself that day. Or at least for me, I know that I took it way too far. I was supposed to be in a 1600 calorie deficit and I would eat 1300 calories, where I would be running like 10 kilometers a day. So I just took it way too far. I was not eating enough, and I ended up binging, and I kept doing it and I kept binging, and that's when it became a habit, and that's when it became binge eating disorder, because it was something that I was doing multiple times a week for an extended period of time, and I'm talking months. As scary as it seems, just stop dieting. Like, life is so much more than being skinny and having your dream body and looking like the girls on TikTok or Instagram. And for ages, and even still now, I'll be honest with you, even still now I have that mentality, and I still body check every now and again, and I still worry that I'm gaining weight. But letting go of counting calories and obsessing about it every single day has honestly changed my life. And I have not binged in, say, almost 2 weeks, which is the longest I haven't binged since, I'm gonna say 4 months. Like, and it's a huge, huge, huge achievement for me. And it all happened because I stopped counting my calories, and I just ate when I was hungry, and I stopped when I wasn't, and I wasn't worried about what I was eating. And while I did subconsciously count my calories at first, I started eating new things. So even if you stop counting calories, start off with eating the same things you usually would, and yes, you're going to subconsciously count your calories, but losing that control where, like, for me, pouring oats into like a saucepan, I would usually weigh it, and not weighing it was really hard for me. And I was still eating the same things, but I had that little less control. So kind of like letting go a little bit and slowly letting go more and more and more. So I got to a point where I was like, I woke up one day and I was like, today is going to be the day that I'm going to eat completely new things, all things that I have never eaten before. I don't have the calories stored up in my brain. And I actually did put it on TikTok. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, I post so much more, like literally almost daily updates of things and just like relatable content and all of that sort of stuff. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, I'll put it here or something. So feel free to do that. But yeah, that's probably my biggest tip, is to just stop the diet mentality. Doesn't have to be forever, but if you're struggling so much that you're eating copious amounts of food every single day and you're feeling awful and sick, and it's, you know, essentially destroying your quality of life and your, you know, your mental health, then it's not worth it. And, you know, you can always come back to it if you heal in a couple of years, or when you know for sure that you do. Don't like stop binge eating. Like, I haven't binge ate I haven't binge ate in like 2 weeks, but I know I'm not going to go back to counting my calories again, because I know that's not going to help. But who knows, maybe in a year's time when I'm feeling better, I will, and I'll approach it in a way better way, and I won't undereat and over-exercise. For right now, while you're healing and you're healing your relationship with food, the last thing you need to be doing is counting them, you know? And especially being in a deficit when your body's already hungry, and usually binging is a result of under-eating. Being in a deficit, it's not going to help you. So just take it slow, and like I said at the beginning, talk to a professional. I'm not a professional, but I do have some tips that I have researched, I've found work for me. Might not work for you, but they work for me. There's nothing wrong with trial and error. Yeah, just remember at the end of the day, just to look after yourself. Your mental health always comes before how you look and what you eat. Like, please remember that, okay? I'm going to say it again. Your mental health always comes before how you look and what you eat. And I've got one last little tip for you. This is just a little one. This is pretty much just something that if you're, I don't know, sitting on the couch and it's after dinner and you have this overwhelming, like crazy feeling that you're going to binge, which like I'm so familiar with, and you just know that you're seconds away from walking to the pantry and getting a whole packet of chips or a whole chocolate bar and you're eating it all. Maybe just try. I know it's hard, and if someone said that to me in the moment, I'd be like, piss off, like let me get my chocolate. I know it's hard, but maybe just try brush your teeth or have a tea. Brushing your teeth, I think, is probably the bigger one, because once you have that minty taste in your mouth, chocolate's not going to taste that good, is it? So, I mean, maybe even just after you have dinner and you have your little snack after dinner or whatever you do, brush your teeth straight away so that that minty taste is in your mouth, and it might even create a cue in your brain that once your teeth are brushed, then that's you done for the night. You know what I mean? Like create healthy habits like that. But a lot of people actually were commenting on my TikToks that help them when they struggle with binge eating. So I just thought I'd pop that in there. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I have today. Sorry it's been a little while since I posted, and I appreciate all my new subscribers that I believe have come from TikTok. I appreciate you guys so much, and I appreciate everyone that's stuck around during the time that I haven't uploaded, and people that have been there since the beginning. Like, it's insane. I'm just over 600 subscribers, which is like just crazy to me. I just never imagined that I'd have that many. So I appreciate everyone's support. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok, like I said, and also follow me on Instagram too. Slowly trying to build up my platforms, because I'm starting to realize that content creating is something I'm really passionate about, and it's been something that's been really consistent in terms of my passion throughout my whole, like, not my whole life obviously, but probably the last like 5 years. It's been something that's consistently always been something I've really enjoyed. So I'm starting to realize I kind of want to take it seriously. So if you want to follow me on Instagram or TikTok or subscribe, that would be amazing and a huge, huge help. So I really hope today's tips helped you. And sorry if I'm really awkward. I'm still awkward in front of the camera even though I've made 10,000 videos, but I just don't want to say the wrong things or offend anyone, especially when I'm talking about something so like, what's the word? The only words that come into my head are delicate and precious, and it's just not the right words. So, I don't know, but you know what I mean. What's the word? I actually can't think of it for the life of me. I'll put it in here if I think of it. But content that is so delicate and precious. My brain. This is what I mean when I'm in front of the camera. My brain like just leaves, like it's gone. Anyways, I'm going to stop before I have a mental breakdown. Again, thank you if you've made it to this point, and don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up the video, comment down below if you have anything to comment, any questions or anything like that, and I'll see you guys in my next video.